All right, let us look at these two expressions. The instruction is factorize each expression. Okay, now we have two expressions here which we are supposed to factorize. Now, before we begin our factorization, I want us to first identify the kind of expressions that we have been given. Okay, so when we look at these expressions, I think we can see that these are quadratic expressions. Okay, now how do we know that these are quadratic expressions? Okay, so any expression which is in this form, okay, a x power 2 plus, okay, um, bx plus c. Okay, any expression which is in this form is considered to be a quadratic expression. Okay, where you have a, okay, representing a number which is the coefficient of x power 2. B is also representing a number which is the coefficient of x there, and the c is a constant number, okay, meaning it's a number without a variable. Okay, this is what we have here. Okay, so we have this term, okay, x power 2, okay, and we know that this has a 1 there, which is the coefficient of this, but we don't show that. Okay, so you have 6 there. So if I'm to show this one, okay, this is going to be a is going to be 1, because here we know there is a coefficient of there is 1 there as a coefficient of x. Okay, then our b in this expression, our b in that expression is 6, and then our c is 8. Okay, so this is what these letters represent in that expression. Okay, so any expression in this form is considered to be a quadratic expression. Now, how do we factorize such kind of expressions? How do we factorize quadratic expressions? Now, when you are factorizing quadratic expressions, there are things that you have to know. Okay, so number one, you have to find the product. Okay, you have to find the product of that expression. So the product we get it by multiplying the coefficient of the first, okay, term there by the last number there. Okay, so we multiply the number which is the coefficient of this by the last number there. Whatever we get is our product. So in this case, we know that we have 1 there. So if we say 1 times 8, this is going to give us 8. So our product is 8. Okay, then what is the next thing that we are supposed to find apart from the product? We are supposed to find the sum. Now, know that the sum is this number there. Okay, the coefficient of the term in the middle there, it's our sum. So that is our sum there. So we now have the product, which we get by multiplying the coefficient of the first term by the last number there, which is 8. Then our sum is the number there, which is the coefficient of this, which is our b. So I mean our b in that expression which I showed you earlier on. So this is our sum. Now the next thing that we are supposed to find are the ones that we call factors of the product. Factors of the product. Those two numbers, the factors of this, okay? We want the numbers that when we multiply them, they should give us 8. And when we add those two numbers, they should give us the sum of 6. Okay, so now to get those two numbers, because those are the factors, we get them from 8, are the factors of 8. So let's just quickly list the factors of 8. So it's 1, 2, 4, and 8. So these are the factors of 8. So from these factors, we are supposed to identify two numbers that when we add them, they should give us 6. And when we multiply them, they should give us a product of 8. So I think from these factors that we have there, it's 2 and 6. Okay, so 2 times 4 is 8. give us 6. So those are the factors that we are going to pick. So we are going to bring them here. It's 4 and it's 2 and 4. So these are the factors that we have. Now, when we have these factors, we are going to introduce x. Okay, we are going to introduce x there to our factors, these two factors. And now, once we do that, we are going to replace from this expression, we are going to replace our sum, okay, with these two factors. From this expression, we are going to replace our sum with these two factors there. So this is going to be x power 2, okay? This is a positive 2x. So we are going to say plus 2x, okay? This is a positive 4, so we're going to say plus 4x plus the last number there in our expression, which is plus 8. Okay, so now once we do that, at this point, we are going to factorize by grouping. I think you have noticed that our expression now has 4 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now at this point, we are going to factorize by grouping. So we are going to do this. Okay, we are going to do this. Then we factorize this, and we also do the same to the other part there. So now when we look at these two terms here, which one is our common factor there? Because we want to identify the common factor, then we factor it out. So here, if you look at this here, this 2x, okay, it means this is x times x, okay, plus, okay, plus 2x. So now you can see that we have one x which is common. So that x is our common factor. So we are going to factor it. We are going to factor this x out. So this is going to be x open bracket. So what has remained there? It's x. So we're going to write x plus what has remained there? It's 2. So we are done with this part. Okay, we are done with that part. Let's move on to the next part. So here we have two terms, 4x plus 8. We are also going to factor out that part there. So here you have 4x plus 8. Now, what is the common factor there? If we are to factorize this factor, I mean this expression, our common factor is 4 there. So here we are going to remain with x. Then there we need 2, because when we expand this, it should take us back to that one there. So this is going to be plus 4, this, then inside bracket we remain with this x plus 2. Okay, so now at this point, you can notice that what we have inside brackets, it's identical. So what we are going to do, we are going to get this x here, okay, plus 4. Those we factored out, we are going to put them in brackets. Okay, so we are going to do that. Then these which we have in the brackets, which are identical, we just get 1. So this is going to be x plus 2, close bracket. So this is our answer. And if you expand this, it is going to take you back to our original expression there. So this is how you factorize a quadratic expression. Okay. So now you are free at this point to pause this video and try this question before we do it together. Okay, so do that. Now let us factorize this one. Now, like I said, the first thing is to find the product of this expression. So the product is this, okay, times the last number there. So 2 times negative 6, this is going to give you negative 12. Okay, it gives you negative 12. Okay, and our sum is that number there. Okay, our sum is this one here. So our sum is negative 4. Okay, so that is what you do. Your product, you get your product by multiplying the coefficient of the first term there, okay, by the last number, which is our constant there. Okay, so that is our negative 12 there. 2 times negative 6 we have negative 12. And this is our sum. Okay. So now the next thing, we are supposed to now find the factors. Okay. Those two numbers, which when we multiply them, they should give us negative 12. And when we add them, they should give us negative 4. Now, that is a bit tricky. Sometimes people fail to do that. They may know what to do, but coming up with those factors, it's a problem. So what we are going to do, we are going to list the factors of 12. So we are going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12. So these are the factors of 12. So now from these factors, let us identify two numbers, okay, two factors such that when we add those two numbers, they should give us negative 4. And when we multiply them, they should give us negative 12. So from this, if we say, okay, 1 times 2, it is 2. Okay, 1 plus 2, so doesn't qualify. So 3 times 4, it is 12. 3 plus 4, it is 7. So it's not giving us the sum there. Okay, so from these factors, the factors that can give us these 2 and okay, it's 2 and negative 6. I mean 2 and 6 there. So now this one, 2 and 6, one is supposed to be negative. So this one is supposed to be negative. So that when we say 2 times negative 6, 2 times negative 6, it should give us negative 12. Okay? 2 plus negative 6, it should give us a negative 4. So these are the factors that we are going to get from that list of factors there. So our factors will be 2 and negative 6. Now, once you identify those two factors, I said the next thing that you are supposed to do is to do what? To introduce x there. Okay, we are going to introduce the variable that we are given. So in this case, we are using k. So there you are going to have k. So now, we are now going to replace our sum there with these two factors there. So it's going to be 2k power 2. Okay, this is a positive k. So we're going to plus 2k. This is negative 6k. Okay, minus 6. Okay, so now, like I said, at this point, you are now supposed to do what? To factorize by grouping. I think you can see that now our our expression has 4 terms. So we can now factorize this using the grouping method. So we are going to put these in brackets. Okay, we're going to put this in brackets so that when we look at these two factors, this part of this expression, we are going to get those factors. We are going to factor out the part this. So this is going to give us 2k. Okay, here we are going to remain with k. Okay, then plus, okay, plus here you are going to remain with 1. Okay, you're going to remain with 1. Then this side you're going to remain with what is the common factor there? Our common factor is 6. Okay, our common factor there is 6. Okay, inside the bracket you remain with k, and then there we are going to have a plus 1. So that when we say negative times positive, it gives us that negative which is there. So at this point now, once you have you have reached at this point, and you have those identical terms in your brackets. So what you do, you just say 2k, you get this, which you have factored out, you put them together, you put them in brackets, and you get one of these. This is k plus 1. Then this is your answer. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. And if you are new to this channel and you have found this video so helpful, please do not forget to subscribe. Okay, and do not also forget to share. And if you need any further information, you want to communicate with me, this is my line. Okay, 0978 15 60 15 67 36. Okay, so that is my line, 0978 15 67 That's it. So once you call that line, you are able to reach me, or you can WhatsApp me. We will be able to communicate. Okay, so thank you very much for watching.